In defense of Tamika Mallory, like I know, wait, slow down, chill. Let's talk about it. But why is the way about to give Tamika Mallory some credit? Let's talk about that. So you all know who Tamika Mallory is. She has been coined the head, the face of the woman's march movement. Now that I'm thinking about this, white women finesse the hell out of that because initially Tamika Mallory, Linda Sozar, and Mexican chick, I don't know her name. They weren't the head of the Women's March. They weren't meant to be out there at all. I guess the Beckys took a little bit of heat because they didn't have enough women of color. Sisters was out there caping for Becky, begging them to give them opportunities to be on their platforms and whatnot. And by happenstance, Tamika Mallory they handpicked a few people and they made them the face, which benefit them because they got to have their march, and then they got to have a black woman, a Mexican, and an Arab chick be the face of this anti-Trump situation. But off of that, the reason why I'm giving the lady a little bit of credit, even though I don't bang with her political ideology, the feminism, the DACA, the immigration, the LBG, all that same shit, anti-gun rhetoric she spews. I don't bang none of that. What I want to give her credit for is that what the Congressional Black Caucus couldn't do, what Keith Ellison couldn't do, what Lamar Hill could not do, was she stood her ground. She has more balls than Lamar Hill, Congressman Ellis, and the entire Congressional Black Caucus. Because she was hit with the Farrakhan attack and she did not waver. Absolutely, we understand that being associated or next to Farrakhan is not a politically correct thing to do. The left will roast you more than the right. The right just look and point like, aha, we got you. Right, I saw that on a View today when Joy tried to throw it at Trump and Meghan McCain's like, well, they brought up the tweets about Farrakhan saying, I ain't got no beef with, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't like termites. And then Lamar Hill had to come out and completely disassociate himself, and you know what I mean? I get why they did what they did. Don't get it twisted. I understand the political game. But I'm saying she stood her ground and said it, yo, when I was down and out, when her Pookie and Ray Ray boyfriend was murdered in her youth, the NOI, or the Nation of Islam, was there for her. And they looked out for her. Those were her words. And she said she's not stepping up back away from them or denouncing them. And that, again, is a cost to pay to that. That puts you in a conflict of interest because the little fuckity fuck women's march movement, they have agendas and ideas and goals that they want to accomplish, and her not dissociating herself or denouncing Farrakhan makes that more difficult to do. And she ain't do it. She did what most normal people do. It was like, yo, I don't agree with everything he says, but he has been inspirational in my life. Now, my problem with Lamar Hill Harper is he's a brother. Despite him claiming to be a feminist and whatnot, he's still a black man. Even though he's on that liberal fuckity fuck shit, he still understands why black people do respect and admire Farrakhan, despite his political incorrectness and unapologeticness. But he understands the game. He knows what it is. And for him to hop out there quick, like, yo, I'm not about to mess up this MSNBC, CNN, white liberal money, I gotta denounce Farrakhan. And he had no problem doing it. This is somebody who sat with Farrakhan, broke bread with him. He's like, yo, I'm good. I know where my agenda lies and who feeds me. I'm out. The entire Congressional Black Caucus did the same thing. Keith, it's funny about Keith. I think he's a senator or congressman from Wisconsin. He's going through a little Me Too situation right now, so he might have to step out the ring. But it's weird how, like, he is everything that Republicans accused Obama of being. He is a radical. He's a communist. He's a Muslim. He all that. And the Democrats could have put him as the head of the DNC, but they chose the Perez dude, which was like, huh? Yeah, okay. But he really would have pissed off Republicans and got people, riled up. But the Democrats didn't go that route. But this is not that long of a video. I'm just giving the chick credit because she stood her ground when a lot of black men who are on that liberal fuckity fuck shit didn't. And again, I understand the political game. I know how this works. Democrats have no problem throwing their people under the bus and saying, I can't stand next to you. Republicans are different. They will excuse and other them and flip-flop around, but Democrats threw whatever the congressman who used to be the comedian, they threw him off the bus over his Me Too situation. It's like, nope, we gotta let you go. They threw over Kathy Griffin, said, nope, get out of here, we gotta let you go. So they don't mind sabotaging and eating their own just to get their agenda across. And I want to see what happens with this because it is a conflict of interest. Aligning yourself or not denouncing or demonizing Farrakhan, because the next time Tamika Mallory goes on The View or any other, network where there's some non-liberals on the panel, because the liberals, even though they don't agree with her association with Farrakhan, they're not going to check her on it. They're not going to question her on it. But if she went on The View, I know Meghan McCain would. But that's just crazy how all these other people are like, no. Same thing like when Obama, right? Reverend Wright situation. He knew what the deal was. This was people trying to act like he wasn't his church. He got married there. He went there for 20 years. I'm not saying the man was like consistent every Sunday service, or even religious at all. He was doing what he had to do for politics. But he going to straight up act like he ain't know the man. And the funny thing is, y'all black queen, Valerie Jarrett, was one of the advisors that instructed Obama to step away from that situation and get away from Reverend Wright. Same thing with Van Jones. Van Jones worked in the Obama administration. Some of his old tweets came up, not literally, but his college radical days of his communist views and whatnot popped up. Old 20-something-year-old Vans. Obama was like, you got to go, my guy. I don't need that heat. Dropped him like a pancake. Just, it's gone, hot potato. And the funny thing is with Obama, the Reverend Wright situation was like the only time the liberal media was really hard on Obama. Like, he was getting it from all sides for that. Like, they was going in, like MSNBC, CNN, like they was, because this is at the time when the white liberals were still rocking with Hillary. Obama wasn't the nominee yet. So they've always questioned his situation with Reverend Wright. Then he had to denounce him to get that win. But that's it. I'm just giving her credit where credit's due because I want to see how this plays out. Because at the end, like you already see, hold up. This is just me typing in her name, Tamika Mallory, and 7 months ago that came up on The View. Fox News talked about it. They got Congressman Keith Ellison talking about his situation. He cleaning it up. It's just typing in her name and all this pops up. So the stench, quote unquote, of Farrakhan because she would not denounce him and she stood her ground is going to be there. And when you try to throw certain shots and make certain arguments, can Linda Sozar or the Mexican chick name, it's funny, she the only one that she don't know her name. Like, is she? That's how you know that shit was just put together real quick. But will they confront her? How does that work when they trying to do the LBGT? Because they take on so many different issues at once. The women's issues, the LBG, the immigration. They got so many fronts that eventually it's going to come fronts where it's a conflict of interest. Does Tamika have to set a timeout? Does she not get to come to that parade or that march? Despite all that, she stood her ground, said, yo, I don't have... Which, again, I don't agree with her at all. But what is wrong with saying, like, yo, I don't agree with some of the extreme things he says, but I'm not about to distance myself from him because he's been there for me personally and in my family. And I can't denounce that. Lamar Hill jumped out the goddamn window. Like, I don't know that, man. Like, he went ham. It's crazy. Oh, Lamar Hill, although he did finally condemn Farrakhan, he did tweet back on the 20th. Although I disagree with the minister on those important issues, I will not allow that to be an excuse. Chill, man. For allowing dishonest media or poorly intended observations to create unnecessary divisions. I will not be told who to speak to or sit with or engage. He also said, he didn't finish yet. Wait, there's more. Black people are the only group of people who are demanded to throw people away rather than critically engaging and challenging them regardless of what headlines say. This is not my position. I guess he's referring to Farrakhan. So after he did say I condemn him, he came back with this, I guess, because of the heat he was taking. And I do think I will give him more credit because he does seem more, not progressive, but he's a leftist in ideology. He was more of a, I mean, he voted for Jill Stein. He didn't vote for Hillary either. Or he was promoting her or whatnot. But I guess he did come back with that caveat. But he still denounced him in the get-go because a picture of him surfaced up. But that's it. That's my video. Shout out to Tamika Mallory for holding and standing her ground. Because a lot of cats can't do that. A lot of people ain't going to just say, I denounce this person. And the crazy thing is, Farrakhan knows this. He understands that people have to separate themselves from them. That's the weirdest thing in the world, is like, he understood. Like, Obama was losing to Hillary for a long time in the beginning. It was a concerted effort made to get her the votes. Boyce talks about this too. It was Farrakhan, it was Al Sharpton, obviously, it was Boyce Watkins and others who made a concerted effort to get him elected. Like, they pushed him and spoke on his behalf. Also, even Travis Smiley and Cornel West. That's why Cornel West had every right to be critical of Obama publicly, because he stuck his neck out for him to support him publicly. That's how politics is supposed to work. You're supposed to hold people accountable, the people you push and elect, right? For whatever reason, black people kind of fake cancel him. But that's my video. Shout out to Tamika Mallory for standing her ground. Probably don't give what else she do.